The heart that loves unconditionally, the dreamiest of hearts. That's you, Pisces Moon. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to talk about Pisces Moon. I'm so excited. If you're new here, my name is Mina and I love talking about astrology with you guys. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, smash subscribe for good luck so you can stay connected with me. And I want to say welcome, my Pisces Moon brothers and sisters, cousins, because I am a Pisces sun, and although that is not the same thing, it kind of gives me the ability to tap into how you're thinking and feeling a little bit, because we have a special bond with one another. And I really do want to uplift you and empower you with this video and make you feel seen, because I know us Pisces people, we like to feel seen. So please stay around for that. We're going to talk about what the moon means in our chart. The moon is our emotional, non-negotiable needs. They're very basic needs that we have to meet, because if we don't take care of our emotional needs, we can't go out into the world and do our daily tasks, make our dreams come true, all the active stuff that we have to do on a practical daily basis. And the more we accept our moon, our emotional needs for what they actually are, and we don't judge it, we just grow it for its real qualities, the stronger emotional muscle it will be, and the higher it will lift the visible parts of our chart up, like our ascendant, our sun, our midheaven, all those dream maker aspects in our charts. So very important to take care of our moon. And I know us Pisces people, we don't like to take care of ourselves all the time. So this is even more important for you guys, Pisces Moon. We're going to talk about Pisces Moon basics, then we'll get into nurturing styles, and we'll end off on self-care. Oh my God, please stay for the self-care, because I put a lot of effort into that part of the video, because Pisces Moon people definitely need to learn how to take care of themselves. So let's get into it. Pisces Moon, you are ruled by Jupiter, and Jupiter is a very special lucky planet, and Jupiter underwater, because water is your element, Pisces Moon, which is all about feelings and emotions. Jupiter is expanding that. It expands anything that it's involved with, and it gives you a high perspective, so you can literally see the emotional big picture of someone. Even if someone has done horrible things, you can see the glimmer of good in them, and you can say, well, they did something bad, but I see from up top that they're still a good person overall. And that's a very beautiful quality you have. It's very wise and angelic. And then you have Neptune. Neptune is really what takes you from a little swimming pool Pisces into a endless ocean Pisces, because Neptune doesn't have those swimming pool walls. Those are boundaries, and Neptune is boundless, so you really are like an endless ocean of water, emotion, and there's nothing stopping other people from walking into your ocean. There's no beware of sharks, no signs like that. So there's no separation in your heart between you and other people, which can be a beautiful thing and a very dangerous thing, because people who might be toxic can come into your waters and really pollute them and bring you down. And you definitely want to be careful about that for sure. It also gives you that dreamy quality, and also gives you that connection to everything unknown in the afterlife. Pisces moons are often highly psychic and do have a connection to all things unknown, connected with the other side of things that we can't see. Neptune rules beauty also, and this has to do with art a lot of the time. Think of it, Michael Jackson, I love Michael Jackson, and Prince, both big, hugely talented Pisces moon artists. Imagine what you can bring the world, you guys, with that big imagination. That's your emotional center. You guys are just extremely special people, for sure. Very unique. These hearts are very unique and complicated. Let's talk about the houses for a second. If you have Pisces moon in the 5th house, you are probably just like Cyrano de Bergerac reincarnated, Shakespeare reincarnated. You are just a natural born romantic. And the 5th house is about self-expression and romance, yes. And the self-expression part here is so important, because it gives you that much needed push, that confidence boost to really show the world unafraid your Pisces qualities and your hobbies associated with that emotional center. So I think it's just extremely beneficial, because Pisces is oftentimes afraid to self-express and to show the world all the beauty inside. So you guys are really like the bravest of all Pisces, most likely, and you definitely have such a heart and talent for all things artistic. I think you could be amazing writers. Imagine the love poems you can write. Oh my God, songs, anything. I think you could just use that heart unafraid and show the world and express through so many hobbies and various talents. Such a lucky placement. Let's briefly touch on the mother. If you have a Pisces moon, most likely your mother was maybe just a huge mystery to you. Maybe you just sensed that she had so many secrets and you wanted to kind of dive in her foggy ocean and uncover all of these secrets. And maybe it was just hard. Maybe she wasn't helpful. Maybe she didn't want you in there. And she wanted to project a certain image to you, but you just wanted to know what's beneath the surface. So maybe you had some successes, you can find some truths, and maybe you weren't able to sometimes. Your mom could have just loved you in a hugely unconditional way. Maybe she was bad at discipline. Maybe she just let you get away with whatever because she just didn't have it in her to tell you no. She just wanted to love you endlessly in that unconditional Pisces way. And maybe you took advantage of it sometimes, but maybe when you got older, you really paid it back and you saw the beauty of it. She could have also been either spiritual or religious, or maybe both. Maybe she was known for really being connected to a religion or a faith, and she wanted to instill that in you. I don't like to assume about people's parents, so as usual, let me know in the comments how your experience was with your mom as a Pisces moon. Let's get into how to nurture a Pisces moon. Okay, this is very important. And it might sound a little weird, but it's so true. You have to take the initiative if you love a Pisces moon and set up healthy boundaries in your relationship, because a lot of times Pisces moon people will not set up these boundaries even though they so desperately need to have boundaries, period, because they often get mixed up between their emotion versus strangers and everyone else's emotions. It gets mixed up because there's no fence around their heart. It's a boundless ocean, and this is beautiful and also very problematic for these individuals. So because they aren't born with these boundaries and have kind of a hard time enforcing them, take the initiative and just set up boundaries, because they won't do it most of the time and they desperately need it, and they will very much appreciate this and love you to death for it. And a lot of this involves really paying attention to when they feel uncomfortable, which is so hard because they will try to hide that because they don't want to show people those parts of themselves all the time. Because a big thing about Pisces moon people is that they don't want to hurt someone's feelings, and it is selfless in this way, but a part of it isn't selfless, because literally if a Pisces moon person hurts your feelings, it's going to end up hurting them more than you, because the thought of hurting anyone's feelings, especially someone they love's feelings, is just so overbearingly painful. So they want to avoid that feeling altogether. So if you're able to look and see and tell if they're uncomfortable with something, definitely take the initiative to change the situation and let them swim away and recharge for a while. Just try to accommodate them in that very intuitive way. If you can swim past the fog here. It's a very mysterious heart we're dealing with Pisces moon people, so challenging but rewarding. To nurture a Pisces moon, you have to accept, and this goes along with what I was saying before, they're not always going to tell you the truth. And if this is really hard to accept, especially for fixed people or Mercury moon people, because they value the truth a lot. But with Pisces moon people, if they know the truth is going to hurt you, they might use that Jupiter higher perspective to think it's just not worth it. And plus it's going to end up hurting them more than you. And it's just going to create a bad situation in their eyes. So unless it's like really serious, Pisces moon people will definitely choose not hurting your feelings over telling you the exact truth. And I don't think this makes them bad people. This is just how they operate, and they have their reasons for it. So it's really important to accept this. Definitely encourage them to self-express. So try to get them to share their exact thoughts and feelings on things. And whenever they do express any type of individuality, praise them for it highly, because that takes a lot of guts for them to do, because they're always concerned about not hurting people's feelings. And when you express opinions, sometimes you do hurt people's feelings, or when you self-express, you might hurt people's feelings. So definitely praise them for that, because that's hard for them to do here. It's also hard just because they're so involved and entangled with other people emotionally, just naturally, by not having those boundaries. So even more reason to praise them for showing any amount of emotional individuality here. And also, if they end up saying something when they're self-expressing that hurts your feelings, try to talk it out with them and don't make them feel bad for doing it, because they already had to be brave enough to go there with you as a Pisces Moon person. So definitely nurture them by talking things out with them and not making a big deal out of it, because their heart is usually always in the best of places. To nurture Pisces Moon, definitely need to learn the very complicated dance of when to give them space and when to infiltrate their space, because they are symbolized by the two fish tied together swimming in different ways. And it's true, they get so emotionally overwhelmed because they just are feeling way too much stuff that's theirs and not theirs, just all at once, very intense, like and they need to break away to recharge from that, because it's so heavy on them, understandably so. So definitely respect their moments of needing space, because this is how they stay good people. This is how they stay functional and able to keep giving in that beautiful Pisces way. And it's a little tricky, but sometimes they kind of need people to infiltrate their space, because they might just be very down and need a hug or need to hear a kind voice, but like can't ask for it because they're not like a Mercury ruled moon that's more communicative. They're very like mysterious, evasive, elusive heart here. So it's very good if you can like tap into that and be a little bit intuitive and really like infiltrate their space when they need that. But it's so complicated here. You would have to just be close with them for a long time to really understand these boundaries with them. But I think it's worth it if you love them. Another thing with Pisces Moon people is don't expect emotional consistency from them. I'm not saying that they're gonna love you one day and hate you the next day, but their emotions are like the tides in the ocean. It could be an agitated situation one day and a calm situation one day. They are a mutable moon, meaning that they are like a CD from your favorite band, but different songs, so different variations of emotional expression. So you can expect the same amount of emotion coming out of them on a daily basis, and it's not because they don't love you. I'm sure if they love you, they love you, but it's just their emotional nature that they kind of sway back and forth, but they always come back to center, guys. It's just they're mutable, and this is a very complicated emotional center. So definitely give them faith. They have faith in people they love, so give them that benefit of the doubt and trust that they're just like this naturally, and it has nothing to really do with you per se. And most importantly, be empathetic. Pisces Moon people can fall into the martyr role in life because they do so much for others, because they don't say no. It's really hard for them to say no and enforce boundaries, so they will really do unconditionally for people at their detriment. So if you see a Pisces Moon person that you love going out of their way for you, pay it forward, do something for them back, because they're not used to that. And if you do that for them, that's really going to uplift their spirit and really invigorate their ocean, their really oceanic heart here, and will keep them good people. So definitely a great investment to do this for your Pisces Moon loved ones. How can a Pisces Moon nurture other people? Well, this is super easy. To put it quite simply, a Pisces Moon will just love you unconditionally. If you are someone important to them, they will love you to the moon and back, even if you're horrible to them. And this is very beautiful and unique about them, but it's also something that gets exploited and taken advantage of. So definitely be someone that appreciates this out of them, because they can turn into a bitter ocean sometimes. It's kind of interesting. They won't stop loving you even if you're bad to them a lot of times, but they can't help but feel bitter secretly, and they will never tell you that, but I know they feel that way. So definitely be someone who is a light in their life and that can truly understand, see the sacrifice that they make for other people, because Pisces Moon people love to be seen and appreciated by those they love. Another thing, basically they will always see the big picture of who you are. Even if you've done bad things, they're always going to remember and see the good in you, which is so beautiful about them. If they love you, they'll never forget that good that they see in you, because they're seeing it from that high Jupiter perspective, and they'll never forget that, and they'll remind you of it, why you're a good person even when you feel like you're a bad person. So definitely appreciate that about them. And lastly, they will just tell you their individual feelings. They will try to push past everyone else's feelings, isolate their own, and they will be brave and tell you how they individually think and feel about things. So definitely make them feel accepted and not judged when they do open up in that way, because that is a super vulnerable spot for Pisces Moon people to be. Oh, and also, they'll just take on your feelings, whether it's good, bad, anything, because they're that Neptune person with no boundaries. So if you're happy, they're going to be happy. If you're sad, they're going to be sad. This is a very easy section because these people are so loving. So let's get into the most important section of this video. It is the self-care section. How can a Pisces Moon care for themselves? So important. Number one, guys, you got to make healthy boundaries. You cannot always depend on your friends to enforce these boundaries for you. And I know that you feel love when someone stands up for you that way and is proactive and does the boundary thing when you can't. But at the end of the day, it's your responsibility, and you will save yourself so much heartache and pain if you just can say the word no and set up boundaries with people, because you matter too, Pisces Moons. And if you're not recharging yourself and keeping your waters clean and fresh, then you're not going to be that angelic spirit, that angelic heart that everyone loves you for. And you'll feel so much lighter if you can just individuate a little bit. I know you're always tapped into the collective feeling because of that lack of separation, but it's really important that you hone in on yourself and start protecting yourself. Put up some walls on that swimming pool, guys. You will definitely not regret it, but it will be very uncomfortable, but it's definitely worth the trouble. It's really important that Pisces Moon people learn to differentiate your own personal feelings versus someone else's feelings, because that can get mixed up and you can just be a very confusing emotional center. Because if you don't know how you feel, then imagine the people that are close with you, they're probably just so confused about you, and that can create a lot of hurt both ways. So a great way to do this, I know I say this in a lot of my moon videos, is to journal, but for you it's just like so pivotal. And think of it like you're doing algebra, like you're reducing the expression until you get that raw answer. And whenever you get to that simplified answer, you could say, hey, these are my feelings. I broke it down and I know that these are my feelings. And if you track them in a journal, you can really understand yourself on a deeper level and start to track your emotional patterns. Because if they're complicated for other people, I think they're even more complicated for you, because this heart's even more confusing for the individuals that have it, because it's so foggy at times, and there's a price to pay for that dreaminess, that angelic quality. So definitely getting to know yourself in this way is so important, not only for you, but for the people you love too. It's also important for you to distinguish who is emotionally close to you, your intimate circle, versus acquaintances versus strangers. Because often the most beautiful thing about you, Pisces Moon, is also something that can end up hurting those that love you. Because you will literally give the shirt off of your back for your husband, your wife, and a stranger alike, and an acquaintance alike. And a lot of times that leaves your very inner circle feeling not special, because you treat everyone to the same level at times, and that can just make people feel a little bit alienated, even if it's not your intentions. And even if you don't plan to change this about yourself, because it is a beautiful quality, at least learn to communicate to your close circle how special they are to you. Because if they feel love, they're going to give all that love back to you. You're going to feel recharged. It's all going to be good. Learn to sit with your feelings, because with a Pisces Moon, it is mutable, so it's going back and forth a lot of the time. Maybe you just meet someone and you think you're in love with them right away, but then the next day you don't really think so, and then the next day you don't think so even more. And if you made the mistake and told that person, hey, I'm in love with you, imagine how much hurt they're gonna feel when you're like, I'm not really in love with you. So it's really good, again, going back to journaling, track your feelings, because you need to understand that you don't want to release those feelings verbally out into the world until you know that they're consistent, because that can cause a lot of pain for people, and I know that's the last thing you want to do. And that's also going to cause pain for you, because you don't like hurting people's feelings. That's even more painful for you. So once you've sat with the feeling and you can track it and say, I felt this way consistently for a while, then you can feel safe to tell someone that, knowing that, hey, I did my part and I know I've been feeling this for a while. It's not a flaky feeling. So definitely be careful what you're releasing out to other people, because you could really hurt yourself and others in that way and be misunderstood. And I know for Pisces in general, Pisces hates being misunderstood. So definitely be proactive in this way and learn to sit and meditate, marinate in those feelings, so you can know which ones are sticking around and which ones are swimming away from you. When you need to isolate, because it's so important that you do isolate to recharge, because you feel so overwhelmed with being involved in too many people's feelings and your own feelings, and it's just all confusing and intense. Learn to tell your intimate circle, hey, I need some time away. Directly communicate, because they can feel maybe abandoned by you in these moments, and it can lead to a lot of hurtful misunderstandings. So do yourself a favor and them a favor. Let them know that you just need to recharge. It has nothing to do with them and that you'll be back. Track your psychic moments, you guys. Like, don't ignore that part of you. I know you might have Capricorn and Saturn people in your life saying, are you sure it's not just your house making noises like the pipes? Trust your psychic visions and your paranormal experiences, all of that, because you have an undeniable connection to the other side. So you can develop this connection and help heal people. Maybe you could be a medium, a tarot reader, any type of position where you can heal people. This ability can become very useful, and don't ignore it in yourself. It's so beautiful. This is probably the only moon sign I'll say this to. Don't sleep too much. I know Virgo needs sleep, Gemini needs sleep, because they're Mercury ruled moons, so they get really stressed out. And I know we get stressed out too. I'm a Pisces sun, I get it. But don't sleep your life away, because you have so much to give the world when you're awake, you guys. You're magical creatures. You have so much you can give the world in art, music, just all of this stuff with your imagination you could create is amazing. There's no limits to it. So definitely express those emotions through that art. You could really light up the world that way. I hope you enjoyed this video, Pisces moons. I have a big heart for you because I'm a Pisces sun. I can kind of understand how you feel, and I know it's confusing, but you're just beautiful creatures. You have so much to give to the world. Don't neglect yourself, please. Let me know what you think in the comments below, as always. And I think I will be doing a Halloween special about a serial killer. It's kind of the spooky time of year. I feel comfortable doing that. Scorpio season's coming up, so I don't feel so bad. But yeah, let me know how you feel about that in the comments, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!